Today I will be installing a wheel kit on this Honda EU3000 IS inverter generator. This thing weighs about 145 pounds, and so it can be very difficult to move around, especially on your own or in an emergency. So I'm really hoping this wheel kit will make it a lot more portable. Now, normally these units ship dry without any oil or fluid in them, and you can just tip them on their side and install the wheel kit the easy way. But unfortunately for me, this thing has a fresh load of oil and I really don't want to mess with it. So let's see if I can figure out how to install the wheel kit on my own. I'm planning on probably just propping up a side of it and then getting a ratchet strap to hold the other side, but I really don't know how that's going to work. Let's find out. So here's the kit that I ordered off of eBay for this generator. I got it for three main reasons. The first reason is that the axles are drilled. They give you a cotter pin system that just really simply and safely holds the wheel on. That's going to be a lot better than the other kits that use the steel caps. Another reason is that the tires are run flat, which means they're filled with foam and not air. That's going to prevent flat spots from when the generator sits in your garage. And lastly, I think the red looks cool. It looks retro, so that's why I got this kit. Here's a quick example of a wheel kit that you should avoid. The axle is not drilled, it's just solid. And so the only way to secure the wheel is to use one of these cheap steel caps. They tell you in the instructions to just tap it onto the end of the axle, and that's how you're supposed to secure the wheel. So that's not gonna work. That's dangerous in my opinion, and you should always use wheel kits that have a drilled axle and then they have a cotter pin that goes through and it secures the wheel. The eBay seller I got this from actually had a photo of the cotter pin version, but they sent me this one. So it's going to be returned immediately. And just make sure you message the seller and verify what kind of kit they have before you buy it. Installing the wheel kit is pretty easy. You just have to remove the bottom feet from the generator and then bolt on the axles in the place of the feet. The problem that I have though is that there's oil in this generator, and so I can't just tip it over to do this. What I am going to do though is I'm going to put bricks under one side, and then I'm going to use a ratchet strap to pull the generator up using a tie from the ceiling of my garage. I would not recommend doing this, but this is my best option. So here we go. You also may have noticed that I'm using towels on top of the bricks. The only reason for that is I just don't want to scratch the hell out of this new generator. So here's what's going on up top. I'm using 2 ratchet straps just for extra redundancy and safety. It looks pretty good to me. I don't think there's any issue with the weight or anything. But I would recommend always using at least 2 straps for something like this. You never want to chance it with just one. So now we'll just bolt on the axle for the wheels in place of the generator feet that we just removed. So during the process of trying to install this axle, I came across a pretty big problem. The pre-drilled hole here that's supposed to allow the bolt on the bottom of the generator to come through doesn't seem to be lined up properly, or this entire plate is slightly bent. I'm not sure what the problem is, but if you look here, you might be able to see where it scratches up against the paint on the axle. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to figure out how to fix this. I'm gonna have to widen this hole just a bit so that it will fit. So I have my trusty Dremel right here, and we're gonna see if I can use a diamond engraving bit to open this hole up just a little and make this thing fit. Man, that Dremel diamond bit did pretty well on that. I'll have to go test fit it and see if this makes a difference. And just keep grinding at it, if not. Alright, I just did a quick test fit, and I think that's going to do the trick right there. I just had to open up this hole a little bit in the steel plate. And I did not expect to do fabrication in this video. However, unfortunately, that's how a lot of these videos end up working out. Just wanted to give a shout out to my Dremel 4000. Everyone should own a Dremel. I am actually very impressed because I didn't think that was going to work out the way it did. But this diamond engraving bit is amazing. It did quick work on that steel plate. Here's the bit right here in case you're interested. It's the diamond point carving / engraving bit. It's not even really made for cutting through steel, it's made for engraving, but it works amazingly well. And if you take a look at that steel, that's not thin. I mean, this is pretty stout. I really did not expect it to work, but it did. So let's get back to putting this thing on. See this metal bolt right here? It's welded onto the bottom of the generator. That's the reason why the rail wouldn't fit. But now that the hole is opened up, let's try it again. The wheel kit is now installed, so let's go ahead and take it for a spin.